Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emily Hessler. Today I'm gonna use a stamp set from Altenew. This is called Peony Buquet, and if you watched my haul video for a couple of days ago, I said it's called Peony Buquet and I don't know what I was talking about. But anyway, this one is called a Peony Buquet, and of course these are peonies. I'm going to do some masking today, and I'm going to start off by tapping on some sticky Versamark ink and then pressing it down. You can see I tapped off some of my powder. I have used my anti-static powder on this smooth cardstock, and this is from Bristol, and I find that this cardstock works very fine when I'm using my clean color real brushes, and that is what I'm going to be doing today. So now I'm just coating that Versamark with some clear embossing powder from Ranger, and then I'm heat setting that. When I'm done with that, I am going to be pressing this same stamp down on top of some post-it tape. You can see me do that here, and then I'm off camera cutting that out, and now I'm just pressing that over on the top of our heat embossed image. Now I'm going to use a homemade stamping tool, I suppose you can say it's that. I have no MISTI, but this works out fine for me. It's just I'm just taking a frame actually, and just taking that glass and using that as the lid to close this down, so I get a perfect impression. This is not forever. I'm gonna use this now a couple of more days, and then I'm gonna buy a MISTI, I think. But if you have no MISTI and you don't feel like running out and buying one, you can always do this. I'm just taped that down onto the frame, and in the side of the frame I'm actually having some foam foam. So that is a suggestion you can do if you want to. When I have done that, I'm coating that one too with some clear Ranger embossing powder, and then I'm heat setting that off camera. And I'm doing the same thing here, but now I'm taking those same stamps and just pressing them down on the upper right corner. And then I'm heat setting them too with some Ranger embossing powder. I think this technique is awesome. You can do this with any stamps that you have. I think this one works out very fine. Here I'm taking a couple of, here you actually can see it maybe perhaps in the light, but you will see them here soon when I'm start coloring this in. I'm using a watercolor pencil, and then I'm taking my SIG markers, and I'm going to be using my pink colors. In the beginning here I'm thinking that I'm going to be using both that light pink color and that bright pink color, but in the end you will see that I'm changing the color of this and just making all in that bright pink color. When I'm doing this, I'm carefully not to touch the other leaf, so I'm just taking a leaf that isn't that close to the one I already painted. So here is what I'm talking about. I'm just inking this up in the light color, and now I'm gonna switch it in the end. The technique I'm using for this is to take the colors in the midsection of this flower and then dragging the color out to the outside of this, and that makes this look like a shadow, and it creates a little bit more depth in this card. And I'm going to be doing this. I'm going around all the edges, and I am going to speed this process up a little bit more. The other flowers I am not gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you this one, so pay attention to this one. And now I'm gonna stop talking and you can listen to some music and see me color this one in. Here we have the results. Now you can see how I painted all those images that we stamped out. Now I actually have die cutted this with a stitch frame from Long Foam. I also die cutted a piece out of some heavily Nina cardstock with this die set from W+9. This is called Sunshine Layers, and I'm only going to be using that frame. Here is a top folded note card, and I'm going to adhere this down on top of this, and I'm doing that with some... Before I do that, I'm showing you here a sentiment that I'm chose. This is from Avery, Elle, and it's called Simply Said You, and I also used the coordinating die, that large U, and I die cutted that out of some gold paper. Now I'm going to be adhering this down on top of that card base, and I'm doing that flat. When I'm done that, I am going to be adhering this, but I'm going to be using some fun foam to create a little bit more dimension. And then I'm taking my adhesive again and pressing down that panel that we created. As you can see in the upper right corner, I actually already have heat embossed in white that sentiment. But I actually decided that I wasn't going to be using this. I'm going to be stamping this down directly on top of our front panel. I'm going to be using the same stamp. I'm using some Versa Fine Onyx Black and just inking that up carefully, and really carefully now pressing this down. You actually have to be really careful, since I already have been adhering this on top of this card panel. I don't want to do this all over again. So when I've done that, I am going to peel off the release paper on the back side, and then I'm going to press that down. I'm using my AK Success tweezers here to just keep this in place. When I'm done that, I am going to be embellishing this card with some pretty pink purse sequins. This is the set with the mixed sizes of the sequins, and they are clear. So when I have decided where I want all those sequins to go, I'm just taking a drop of glue and putting it down behind it. Oh, I think this is so pretty. I like pink. Pink is my favorite color. I hope you like this one too. If you liked it, please give this card a thumb up. If you want to see more of my work, you can always subscribe to my channel here at YouTube or visit me at Instagram. My name is Scrapbooking_Svea. Until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye! See you soon!